What's up? I gotta pump this video out quick because I gotta get this out before the 12:30 games start. So this is gonna be a quick video, but happy Easter. These are my official Easter NBA picks. Quick recap of yesterday. The blowout in the Wizards game pretty much messed us up. I mean, Bub hit in the blowout. He barely played. Bilal had 3 rebounds. That's why it's yellow because it's a hook. In a blowout, he played 25 minutes and he had 3 boards. Wemby, 2.5 threes. I think he chucked up 6, but he only hit 2. So that one hooked. But he did hit that 28.5 line. Trey Johnson, blowout. His minutes were in the low 20s, and I think he had like 11. Paul George hit. Wemby, this was his alt line, and he hooked. And Bam rebounds was a blowout again. His minutes were also very, very little. So the blowout game kind of messed us up, which is why I have every blowout potential game that I like in my leans because I have a feeling it's not going to end well for me. But we do have 4 picks that I don't think will be blowouts in this game that I do like a lot. So let's get right into it. Starting off with Luke Kennard over 2.5 3-pointers made. I'm not going to do a bunch of fluff today. I got to pump this video out quick. So Luke Kennard over 2.5 threes. He's starting at point guard today because Luka and Reeves are out, and he is going to be the main ball handler. So 2 point guards. Not only does Dallas give up the number 1 points to point guards, he mainly gets his points through 3-pointers, but they also gave up the number 2 3-pointers made to point guards in the past 2 weeks. So I do like this line for Luke Kennard, especially in his first game as a starter. He's going to be the main guy facilitating, which is what a point guard does. And they give up a lot of threes and a lot of points to point guards, and he gets most of his points from threes. So that's my first pick, Luke Kennard over 2.5 3-pointers made. Next pick is going to be Josh Giddey over 9.5 assists. I know that line is a lot, but it's a good line. So I know that line is a lot, but they are playing the Phoenix Suns, and the Phoenix Suns give up the number 3 assist to point guards. They give up 10 assists to point guards. The reason I like this line a lot is because Josh Giddey has been an absolute heater passing the ball recently, but last game he had 5 assists. So I do think just for a personal reason and also because he's a great passer and the Suns give up a lot of assists, Giddey's going to want to get his averages back up. And look at his last 10. He's hitting 8 out of 10. We see what happened last game. He went way under. He had 19. Last game, he had 5 2 days ago. So I do expect him to get a lot, especially against this team who gives up a lot of assists to point guards. Okay, my third pick is going to be Ousmane Dieng over 20.5 points plus rebounds. So I know this is a random pick because it's Ousmane Dieng. Nobody knows who that is. I mean, I do. But okay, so Ousmane Dieng is playing the 2 today against Memphis. And not only is Memphis number 1 in points to shooting guards in the past 2 weeks, but they are also number 2 in rebounds to shooting guards in the past 2 weeks. So Ousmane being a good option now that this Bucks team is just riddled with injuries. I do think he's going to go over this 20.5 line. So if we go over here and we check his PR, he has not hit. He's not really been close in most of his games, but this game right here, he had 43. I'm pretty sure he had like 30. I'm not sure how many points he had. It was in the mid 30s, but he went crazy against Houston. So I do like he's a good rebounding guard. He has size, and especially against this team who give up 9 rebounds per game to shooting guards, which is a lot. I mean, like look at these numbers are a lot. 6.9, 7.1, 7.2. But then we get to 8.9 rebounds, 9.4 rebounds. Like this is a lot of rebounds to shooting guards, and especially to a shooting guard with size like Ousmane Dieng. I think he's going to grab a lot of boards, and not only that, but they are very high in points to shooting guards. I believe they're number 1. So like I think everything's lining up here. I think Ousmane is going to have a good game PR wise. I don't see this game being a blowout. My last pick is going to be Wendell over 7.5 rebounds. So Wendell has like screwed us over so much this season. He's been a horrible player to bet on rebound wise, points wise, PR wise, etc. But we have constantly talked about how bad New Orleans is to giving up rebounds to centers. It doesn't matter if Herb Jones is playing the center; he's not doing it today. But he wasn't the starting center last game, and Precious and Maxime both had a good amount of rebounds. And look at this average. Even though they started Missy, I believe, last game, they're still averaging 19.2 rebounds per game to centers, which is just insane. Like That's a whole rebound. Like, look how close it is, 18.2, 18, 17.6. But then we just jump up a whole rebound from second to first. New Orleans is horrible on the glass. They're absolutely horrible. Their centers are horrible. Their big fours are horrible. They're disgusting at it. And for a center to have a line like 7.5 for Wendell, yeah, he's not a good rebounder, but I do think he's going to get 7. I do think he's going to grab 8 rebounds, especially in a game where I don't see it being a blowout at all. They did switch up their lineup a little bit. They have Herb at the 3 now instead of the 5. I don't know what they were thinking. Putting Herb at the 5. Against them, he didn't really hit, but this was over a year ago, so I'm not really going to take this into account. As soon as a center gets less than 7 rebounds in a game, then I'll back off of New Orleans. I'll be like, all right, you guys did fine. But for now, New Orleans has been disgustingly bad at grabbing rebounds. So I'm gonna keep taking the centers, and it's gonna keep cashing. If we go here, I took max rebounds. I took max rebounds up here. It hit. Who did I take up here? I took Klingon rebounds and got in foul trouble, but Rob Williams had 10 rebounds and Klingon had 8 rebounds. Or no, Rob Williams had 9 rebounds and Klingon had 8 in like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna keep taking these center rebounds until one of them until the Pelicans prove me wrong, because they're horrible at it. First of all, Harden over 21.5 points. So Harden is playing the Indiana Pacers today. And I don't know if you guys know, but go ahead and read me that lineup out loud. Just go ahead and just read this starting lineup out loud. And I think maybe their best player here is Jay Huff. It's the Cavs versus the Pacers, and yes, both Cavs bigs are out today. I don't think that's gonna have that much an effect on how like blowout potential this game is. I do think this is gonna be a blowout. It could be close, but just the fact that this Pacers lineup is disgusting. I think Harden and Mitchell are gonna be out of the game in the fourth quarter, so that's why I'm not going all in on Harden's points line, but it is 21.5, so his line is high for it being a blowout. I would expect it to be like 19-20, but for it to be 21, I'm not confident enough to take it as a pick. So it's going to stay as a lean for now, and I don't think I'm going to end up taking it. But you definitely could hit, for sure. Okay, my second lean is going to be Shea over 5.5 assists and paired with Chet over 14.5 points. Again, I'm not taking this because of blowout potential. So this game will be a blowout. I'm 100% certain. It's a fully healthy Thunder squad who won the championship last year against the Utah Jazz with Cody Williams starting at the point guard. So I don't see this game being close at all. I see it being 50-20 at the end of the first quarter, which is why I'm not taking either. I'm not going to end up taking either of these, but I am leaning just because they match up great. Shea assists to point guards. Utah is very high. They're number 2. They give up 11 assists per game to point guards, and Shea has been passing good recently. And then also to power forwards. For check points, they are number 4, so they give up 27.4. But these are all pretty close. So again, I'm not going to be taking either of those picks just because it's the Thunder, fully healthy Thunder against the Jazz. But I do think that they're both good picks if it wasn't a blowout. But I'm assuming it's going to be a blowout, so I'm not going to take either of them. My fourth lean is going to be Sadiq over 2.5 3-pointers made. So this was a pick, but I moved it down to a lean just because it's Sadiq Bey, and he has really been inconsistent for me this season. This is another personal reason, which is why I'm not going to end up taking it. And his line is extremely high. So if you look at this, he's missing 8 in a row. So he hasn't hit a line of 20.5 and 8 in a row. His line hasn't been 20.5 ever. Or no, it has, I think. I think it's been 20.5 a couple. Yeah, one time this season it's been 20.5. So it's been 20.5 one time this season and he hit. But it hasn't been 20.5 in over a month and a half. So that is a good sign because his line is just way too high. His line opened at 18.5, got bumped up to 20, even though he's missed an 8 in a row. So it's a great points line. Only reason I'm not taking it is because I do think that Sadiq Bey could sell this. 20.5 is extremely high, especially with Zion on the floor. I mean, he is the number 2 option, but just for his line to be 20.5, he's not that good of a player for me to be confident in taking a 20.5 number. But the lean is 2.5 threes because I like it more than the points line. So I do see Sadiq Bey sitting corner, sitting wing, Zion driving, Fears driving, kicking it out to Sadiq, and him being that guy to hit those shots. I do think he's gonna get a lot of threes up today, which is why I'm taking the threes. And 3-pointers made to shooting guards. Orlando's number 3, so they give up 4.4 3-pointers made to shooting guards, but it's only a 0.3 difference to number 1. Sadiq is a good shooter. I do think he's going to score a lot today, but the only reason that it's a lean is because I'm not very confident in taking him to hit three threes. It's not a pick that I'm like, oh yes, like give me Sadiq Bey to hit three threes. Like that's not something that's like jumping out to me. But it's a good pick. The stats are there. He's been playing pretty well. If you discard last game for the 1 for 6, look at these percentages: 60%, 67%, 50%, 60%, 67, 50, 75, 50, and then obviously 1 for 6. But these like 4 for 8, I like these 3-pointer attempts, like eight attempts, 6 attempts, 5 attempts, 6, 6, 5, 6 against teams that don't give up as much threes per game to shooting guards as Utah does. I think he's gonna get way more opportunities. And one thing that really caught my eyes, if you check here, Aaron Nesmith had 5 threes. Aaron Nesmith had 5 threes. Aaron Nesmith and Sadiq, they have very similar play styles, or very not play styles, but they have very similar roles on the team. So they're wings who can drive. They're kind of tough, and they sit corner, they sit wing a lot of the time in the game. They don't handle the ball a lot unless their team is injured. But they do sit corner a lot. Sadiq is going to end up sitting corner a lot this game, I do think, and that's what Nesmith did in this game. He ended up getting 5 threes made. So I do like the pick. I don't love it, so it's staying at a lean, but I do think it's a good enough pick to put on the leans, and I think I'm going to end up taking it on the lay. All right, my last pick is going to be J-Dub over 3.5 rebounds. So the only reason this is a lean, it lines up good. I'm not even going to show the stats. The Jazz are horrible at giving up rebounds to guard forwards. The stats are there. I think it's like 10 rebounds per game or something. For him to get 4 rebounds, his line is super low because he's on a minutes restriction. Ever since he's came back, he hasn't played more than 28 minutes, 25 minutes. So not only is he on a minutes restriction, but he's also playing the Utah Jazz. So I literally don't see Jada playing more than 20 minutes this game. Like I'd be surprised if he plays more than 23 minutes this game. So that's the only reason it's at 3.5. So if you guys are willing to take them with the blowout and the minutes restriction, you can go ahead, but I'm not gonna do it. You can take Sadiq. I think I'm gonna end up taking Sadiq just because I do think he's gonna have a great game today. And yeah, so those are my picks for today for Easter. Happy Easter to all who celebrate. I hope we cash today. I really hope we cash today. Yeah, let's get this bag. Peace out.